No, I listen to it all the time. I tell all my friends to smack it raw.
The following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the host are not necessarily those of the host. Listener discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Smackin' Raw podcast, episode 163. I am your host, the Warden, Matt Ritter, and I am here, as always, with my co-host, Sir Cussalott, Travis Pointer, a.k.a. Super Saiyan 2 Black Nappa, a.k.a. the Dragon King, a.k.a. Big T, a.k.a. Sweet T, a.k.a. T-Money, a.k.a. Black Merlin, a.k.a. the HNIC. I almost fucked up Nappa.
What's happening?
What's going on, Travis?
Not a whole lot, man. It's been quite the interesting week for me, though. Like, it's, new things are happening. I'm getting used to it, being one of those people that, works like normal people hours now. I'm not quite used to that. It felt weird all week.
I'm freaking out because I've only got 1 week left, and then I actually have to go back to work.
You sound like I did when I first got furloughed back in March. And then I had to go back to work in June. I kind of like not having to go to work. Like
this 3 weeks has gone by way too fast.
Yeah. Imagine having almost 3 months off, and then they tell you come back. Now you just like, I don't wanna. Yeah. Now imagine that they called you back to a job that while you were off, you realized you hated.
Yeah, I can see the issue there.
That was the real thing. Like, I had time to figure out that I hated my job, Matt.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah.
You know what you don't hate, though, Travis?
I sure don't. What do I hate?
No, I said you know what you don't hate.
Yeah, I said I don't know. What is it?
Well, you don't hate sliding into Sasha's DMs.
You're right. I don't hate sliding into Sasha's DMs.
So while you do that, my friend, fuck it.
This song actually would have worked perfectly with the GIF I sent last week.
Yeah, I would have. All right, we have. Why is that so hard? A panda falling out of a tree?
Hold on, let me see if I can get it to it.
Oh, there it is. A panda falling off a stump. It leans forward and takes a head dive right off. So we got Jeff Hardy Panda. That's what we have here, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff Hardy Panda. With all the style and grace and poise of Jeff Hardy falling off a ladder, we have a panda falling off a stump.
Oh, man.
First and foremost, in news and rumors, apparently I missed it last week. Shout out to a fan of the podcast, a very loyal listener, JJ. Not only is she a mother-to-be, but it was her birthday, and we did not shout her out last week. So shout out to JJ this week.
You missed somebody's birthday last week, dude?
I did. Listen, I'm a new dad. I've got a lot of stuff going on.
Hey, don't blame that kid. Don't blame that kid for your shortcomings, all right?
Okay. I know you've heard this from your parents because I've heard your dad say it. That's why I had a child. Now I have someone to blame and make do shit. So I don't have to. That is the whole reason I had a child.
Yeah, but not yet.
Now, like, if I don't want to go do shit, I can be like, oh, well, the kid. Like, that's my out now.
Yeah, I guess so. I just say no.
I blame everything on the child now. But for happy birthday to JJ. Shout out to JJ.
Happy birthday, JJ.
and we're looking forward to you also having your child. Congrats on that.
Oh, JJ's got a baby coming?
Yes, she does.
Oh, when she do?
That I do not know, nor do I know if I want to put that out there. That is her business.
You're
I know
right.
she put it out on Twitter, so I was okay saying it on the podcast. I don't know if I want to put out like due dates and shit. So,
Well, you know what, JJ, hit me up on Twitter and let me know when you do at @Sir_Cussalott.
all right, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, we have to talk about the sad news. One half of what I consider to be the greatest tag team of all time, and it's actually the other half. Joe Laurinaitis, aka Road Warrior Animal, has passed away.
Second best.
Really, Travis? Now as we're memorializing him, you're going to do that? That's so disrespectful.
It is, and I appreciate you calling me out for it.
Road Warrior Animal has passed away. Being, from Chicago, even though they were technically from Minnesota, they were built from Chicago. These guys, the actual wrestling embodiment of the monsters of the Midway.
Hell yeah.
Big, imposing, physical tag team. The What a Rush, everything. I just love these guys growing up.
I did too. Like, even though I talk shit now saying, they're the second best tag team of all time, because we all know in our tournament, the Dudleys have been, confirmed to be the greatest tag team of all time. However, I do love the Road Warriors, like, definitely. Like, I always have.
So rest in peace to Joe and his family. Johnny, his brother's still alive. His son as well. So rest in peace, Road Warrior.
Yeah, man.
Animal. And Travis, you actually posted in the Smackin' Raw group that Stephanie McMahon sold 43% of her stocks.
Yo, I didn't even know what you were talking about at first. Like, what did I post in the group? Did I accidentally post a dick pic? No? Okay, cool.
So actually, you know what? Let's give Road Warrior. I don't know why I didn't do this. Let's give Road Warrior Animal a moment of silence before we get into more news.
All right, cool.
All right, I need you to get that 10-bell salute. Like, I really do need you to get a soundboard. Now that you got the new job, add a 10-bell salute, some cool wrestling catchphrases, some shit that we can throw in there.
I'm going to be able to do a whole lot of cool shit soon.
As a matter of fact, the Young Kings Wrestling Podcast, TC, your buddy TC over there, they got a soundboard.
Ass.
And not only that, they named their soundboard the Sovereign Soundboard and continue to disrespect Bret Hart even more this week, saying that, how Bret's talked about how he should have been in the first ever ladder match.
Mm-hmm. Well, he technically was in the first ever ladder match.
Yeah, they were telling him he needs to let that go, and that there's no way he would have put on as good of or a better match.
But he did put on a ladder match before them. That's the thing. No, he actually did have a ladder match
as good or better than Shawn Michaels. He would not have been in that match. He needs to let it go, is what they were saying.
But the point they're making is invalid because he was in the first ever ladder match.
So they were very disrespectful again over there.
They're always disrespectful.
Well, Reek was towing the line. Reek was like, "Hey, now we got some friends who are Bret Hart fans. We don't need to go that far." But he did admit he didn't think that Bret Hart could put on as good of a match as Shawn Michaels against Razor Ramon for those IC titles.
Here's the thing, not, opinions like that are fine. It's when you start getting disrespectful to Bret Hart is when it's the problem.
Calling him things like shit, man.
Yeah, shit like that. That's the problem. Saying that you like prefer somebody over another person is fine,
So anyway, I looked at that article that you posted about Stephanie McMahon. So it looks like she has Class A and Class B stocks, and the Class B stocks is a bigger portion of her stocks. The Class A stocks is what she sold 43% of. I am not a financial analyst. I don't, I've got a 401k, but that's about as far into stocks and trading and shit as I get. So
I got one of them too now.
Class A and Class B. I'm so glad you're a grown up all of a sudden.
But I'm not. I have that, but I still when I go to work, you know what I do? I roll out of my bed and I come sit right here. Like my parents and my whole family's like, yo, you found the perfect job for you. Like you still don't have to go outside and be around people. I'm like, you are absolutely right.
It's true. So I don't know the difference between them, but I do know she sold half of her Class A stocks. So she still has all of her Class B stocks.
Yeah, from what I
And
read,
it's less
it's
than
like
half.
it's worth about like a little over $2 million or something like that.
Some shit like that. So who knows? Maybe a kid's birthday party was coming up. She needed
That's
a
what
little
I'm
extra
saying. Like in
cash.
terms of the money that her family has, that's not as much as we think it is.
And last but not least,
They got like start a football league money. So it's just like,
Yeah. You wanted to discuss a copyright claim, or not a copyright claim, but it's a claim, not a strike, right?
It was a claim. It was a claim that we got last week. Yes. So last week when I was sliding into Sasha's DMs, you know how Matt plays a song during the time when I'm searching for the gift to use. And last week we used Keith Lee's True theme music, Bask in His Glory or Limitless, whatever you want to call it. And we got a copyright claim last week on that song. And you know who claimed it, Matt?
Who claimed it, Travis?
WWE Music. Now, it was my understanding that his music was changed because the producers of the song somehow own the rights to it. So how is it that WWE can claim that song on YouTube if they don't own the rights to it?
Seems like a fair question.
Riddle me this.
Ritter over Riddle. Ritter, you this.
No, this is some bullshit. So I'm going to say riddle.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. So I want to know what the deal is. Is what we heard true? Was his music changed because they don't have the rights?
And if they don't have the rights, how can they claim copyright?
How can they claim the copyrights? Exactly. You tell me that.
I can't tell you that.
Somebody,
but anyone listening who knows, please let us know how WWE can make a copyright claim on a song that apparently they don't own. And the fact that they don't own it is why it changed to that trash ass music we have now.
Exactly.
Because there's no way, I don't care how big of a Twitter troll you are, you can argue that Keith Lee's music now beats that Limitless theme that we played last week.
It never will.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Listen, that is my favorite theme song in years. I'm looking way back. I'm trying to think of one that I like better. Only one I can think of is, and actually I wouldn't even like it as much now, but when I was a kid back in the 90s, I loved the Wolfpack theme music, but that's about it. That was the only one that felt like as fitting, to fit their attitude.
Yeah.
And music I just actually liked, So it fit for me.
They use it for a very, very, very short time. But when WWE Aggression came out, DX was using that Run DMC version of DX, the Kings of Rock.
That was pretty dope too. I don't think I like that as much as Limitless though.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, also how they somehow are able to use the beginning of the song is interesting too. Like, so do they own that part?
Well, maybe that's a copyright thing, is they can use so much of the song and then they have to stop. But how much did we play more than that amount of the song? Was that
we played the entire first verse.
Well, that was on you.
Oh yeah, that was all on me because I love that song so much. I wanted to hear the whole thing because it had been so long since I heard it.
Yeah.
You look at it, make you go into the second verse. Because I think I like the second verse more than the first verse. That's the one when he tells you to go back to boot camp and come face me with a better you.
What do you want to start with?
What was trash this week? And I know you expect me to say AEW. And it was, but let's do SmackDown.
Okay.
I'm not saying let's do SmackDown because it was trash.
I know. I'm just saying you said
I know
what was trash this week.
I know that's what it sounded like, but that's not what I was saying.
It is the very first thing on our minds. It is relevant because we did the Jeff Hardy Panda gif.
Yeah. Let's go there.
So we kick it off.
Things I have concerns about on this week too. So we'll talk about that when we get to it.
So we kick it off with this match that Travis and I are not big fans of because we don't know why AJ Styles is a part of it. We thought that they really should have just built Sammy versus Jeff and done a better build for it.
Even worse, why did they have this match tonight, period?
Well, we haven't got there yet. So AJ, Sammy, and Jeff come out for a ascension ceremony where they put the belts on the triangle and then raise it above the ring.
So they're going to leave them up there till Sunday?
Yeah, well, we're going to get into that, Travis, because I hate being a fucking adult right now. I hate how my adult brain works. So Sammy hits Jeff and AJ with the ladder. This leads to our de facto man in charge, Adam Pearce, who has just been swinging his authority all over the place lately, coming out, and apparently we're going to get...
And that's the thing. I don't believe he has any real authority. I think people just think he does because he did what Vince told him to do.
I mean, Travis, if you decided to just go and do something and tell people you were in charge and they listened to you and no one stopped you, would you not just keep doing that?
You're right. And, there's a very, very important line that I like to, refer to every now and then from a little show that you may have heard of called Game of Thrones. Where Tywin Lannister once said, "Power resides where men believe it resides." So that's all this is. People just think he's in charge, so they just listen to him.
Yeah, and he comes out, he's making matches, and apparently we had a singles match, Jeff versus...
Honestly, the dude, he was introduced to us as Vince's bitch. So...
Yeah. It was
anyway.
Jeff. It was supposed to be Jeff versus Sammy. He adds AJ to the match against Sammy's wishes. Sammy gets the win in this match, defeating Jeff and AJ. Again, if we're having a triple threat ladder match on Sunday, why are we watching a triple threat match tonight? And it wasn't a ladder match, but there were ladders outside the ring, which brought a very interesting question to mind. If someone had been thrown off the top rope and hit a ladder, is that a DQ? Because they didn't move the ladders, does that count? How does that work?
Contact, man. It's like football.
Yeah, but how do you prove that you didn't mean to throw them into that ladder?
It's the same as when you Irish whip somebody into the steel steps. It doesn't count as a DQ.
Well, that was my other question. Is because they left the ladders out, is it now out of the equation like steel steps? It's just another
same shit.
Okay.
That's just the same thing like when somebody goes to the announce table. It's not a DQ because the announce table was just there. They didn't pull out a table with the intent of putting you through it. The table was already out there. If you just go through the table, you just went through the table.
Jeff Hardy gets hit with a phenomenal forearm.
Jeff who?
Hardy. Hardly talented, hardly good, hardly entertaining. Jeff Hardy gets hit with a phenomenal forearm.
You're just jealous because Matt doesn't fall with style like he does.
AJ gets then thrown out of the ring. Sammy gets the pin. AJ comes in with a ladder after the match, taking out Sammy. And then here's where I'm not happy I'm an adult, Travis, because AJ ascends the ladder and goes and grabs the belts. And then I realize that he just has to put the belts back because they're supposed to stay there. So you wasted all of that energy to go up there and grab those belts, and then you have to rehang them.
Well, he has to show people that he can go up there and grab them, though. That's the only thing that's relevant right now because we all know he has no business in this fucking match.
10, 11, 12-year-old Matt Ritter would have been like, oh, that was cool. AJ, I wouldn't think at all anywhere about how he's got to go.
They got to put him back.
But no, 31-year-old Matt sitting there, or 33. I'm 33.
Bro, you don't know how
33.
old you are, man? This kid was just born. You're already forgetting shit like that?
Yeah, I think I'm getting gray. I think I'm getting gray in my beard too. Right there. I don't know what that is. Anyway, 33-year-old Matt's like, what the fuck is this shit? Because, yeah, there you go. That's better. Yeah, no, he's got to put the belts back. And it fucked me up. I'm like, because imagine that being with a live crowd. And the live crowd sitting there having to watch him hook the belts back up, climb down the ladder, and then exit. Then we got Otis and Tucker confronted backstage by the Miz and Morrison about this lawsuit. Miz and Morrison want them to relinquish the Money in the Bank. Well, want Otis to relinquish the Money in the Bank championship. Apparently, the lawsuit says that Otis can't hit the Miz, and if he does, blah 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 blah. Well, Tucker notices that John Morrison's name isn't on that lawsuit, so Otis takes out John Morrison. Yeah,
says Otis can't touch the Miz, right?
I believe so. Yes.
So Tucker can, though, right?
Yeah, Tucky can.
Tucky. Why didn't
Tucky
he?
Can.
Why didn't he?
Because Tucky's not a good best friend, Travis.
Yeah. Sounds about right. He's trash.
I mean, he wasn't there the whole time that the Mandy shit was going on. Like, he was just gone.
Just letting it all happen.
Yep.
Just letting it all happen.
Then we actually, I don't think we talked about it last week about the attack on Sasha and Bailey.
The attack on Sasha and Bailey.
Well, Bailey attacking Sasha backstage.
No, you were too busy talking about how bad Sasha's acting was.
Yeah, so I don't think we talked about that. But anyway, Bailey runs back. That I actually did not like this Bailey promo. Bailey's promos are often really rough for me when she's on her own.
Interesting. Okay. I like the one that she did a couple weeks ago.
And sometimes she hits, but most
I didn't
of
like
the time,
I didn't like this one as much, but yeah, I hear you.
A lot of times
I was kind of
promos are
distracted
a
during
miss for
this
me.
one though, so it was. Yeah.
No. Basically, she says she doesn't have any time for Sasha. She doesn't need Sasha. She's talking about how Nikki's got the title shot. Nikki says, "Oh well, you know, she's gonna beat her because Sasha's not there." And she's like, "Well, I did this to my best friend. If I did this to my best friend, and that's why she's not here, what do you think I'm gonna do to you?" You know, typical
what you should
title
say.
match bullshit.
Yeah.
Then we got Grand Metalik loses to Shinsuke Nakamura. I think, I don't know. This is where I took my bathroom break and like I washed some baby bottles out and shit because I could give two shits about Lucha House Party and Shinsuke and Cesaro.
Yeah, I know this match happened, but I don't know what happened during it. I remember seeing that Kalisto was out there in a blazer and some holy jeans, and it was weird to me. Like, why are you dressed like this? Like, you have just the blazer on with no shirt and your mask and your holy jeans, and that's weird.
As much as they've done a good job of hooking me, this is one thing that I just don't give two shits about.
Yeah. SmackDown has been pretty good the last couple of weeks. This is just a low spot that tends to happen. It's fine.
But we followed that up with the Samoan Dynasty tribute. We've got Afa and Sika and Rikishi talking about the accolades of Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, and Rikishi pumping his son up and just going over their whole history. And this was a great package. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, man.
Jay comes out, says he wants to know about the look. The infamous
we all want to know about the look, man.
What's with the look? Paul Heyman finally, after Jay waits and Roman never shows up, comes out of the locker room and says, "Listen, everyone wants to hear what Roman has to say, and you will, but you're going to hear it on Roman's time. You're not going to hear it on Jey Uso's time."
They are playing this so fucking well, dude.
Oh, dude, it's insane how stoked I am to see a Jey Uso Roman Reigns match.
We'll talk about it.
He's not even my favorite Uso.
We'll talk about this more later, I'm sure. But like, this is one of those things where like, I'm so fucking hyped for this match, even though I know what's gonna happen. It's one of those things. That's so weird. Like, I know there's no way that Jay wins this match. I know Roman's going on to continue to be the champ, but like, the way they're playing this story is so fucking good, dude. Like, it's just And see, here's the thing. All y'all out there want to shit on my boy Bruce Pritchard. Give him some fucking credit right now. Give Bruce some credit. You gonna shit on him for all the bad shit. Give him credit for the good shit too.
What I will say is I will give Bruce a little bit of credit, but I think that the Grand Metalik Shinsuke Cesaro shit cancels out at least one of the good things tonight. Like they cancel each other.
They don't cancel out the Roman and Jey Uso shit though.
No, this has been fantastic. I'm with you, and like you said, in the main event, we'll get to it more. Then we got hashtag Ritter over Riddle. Riddle loses to Corbin. He cut a promo I didn't pay attention to because we don't give a fuck about Matt Riddle here on the Smackin' Raw podcast.
And I don't give a shit about what he has to say, ever.
There's only one Matt we care about whose last name has the first four letters, RIDD, and that is your host, the Warden, Matt Ritter.
Hashtag Ritter over Riddle.
Goddamn straight. Then we got the backstage woman. She writes untouchable on her mirror in lipstick. She's got a camera. We still can't see her face. I'm still thinking it's Carmella, but I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% sure. My wife said it looked like she was wearing a wig. I do know that the only other person I can think of off the top of my head who used untouchable as a catchphrase that I have a hard time seeing is John Cena. early John Cena used untouchable as a catchphrase, and we couldn't see him just like we can't see her. So it could be John Cena. This could be
it's a weird roundabout way of them bringing back Nikki Bella.
I don't think she's ring ready yet, but
was she ever really ring ready?
I just mean after having the baby, I don't know if she's ready to get back in a ring.
Man, whatever, man. Mickey James had babies too.
She did. And how long was she off after she had the babies?
I have no fucking clue.
Like, this was just a couple months ago, Travis.
Man, Beyonce came out and did a whole fucking concert and album after having a baby a week ago.
I will say, if it is Nikki Bella, that baby came out and took all of her thickness with her. Every bit of it. Because she was the thicker of the two sisters.
Yeah.
It's all gone now.
Really? I haven't seen her, so I don't know.
That girl in the promo, or the girl in the segment.
Oh, you're talking about that. I'm like, wait, what happened?
If that's Nikki Bella, then all the thickness went with that baby. That baby took all the thickness with her.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
How the mighty have fallen.
I'd much rather think that it's John Cena.
I mean, I would love for it to actually be John Cena after all this is over with. Like, after all this is done, like next Friday on SmackDown, that whole promo and shit happens, and then like the Titantron hits, and then he comes walked out in that dress wearing heels and shit. Oh, that'd be the funniest shit in the world to me. I'd be like, yo, worth it, 100% worth it.
And this is Travis saying something with John Cena is worth it. So
yeah, exactly. That's coming from me. Very few people in the world dislike John Cena more than me. And like, it's one of those things that I just hate it because I hate him, but I can't hate him the way I really want to hate him because of all like the Make-A-Wish shit. So he's like genuinely like a good person and shit. So just like, God, I hate that I can't hate you as much as I want to hate you. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a whole different level of hate. It's like, it's not a high level. It's like up here, but like over here too.
I should mention this because I did tweet it out. My wife said that Sami Zayn looks like he collects money by the freeway.
I can see that. He does.
And then those wrestling girls said he might even wash your windows.
He might with newspaper.
Yep. So, then we had the Alexa Lacey segment, and Travis, I love what they're doing with Alexa Bliss.
Too. Yeah.
Listen, I know I originally said I didn't want it to be Alexa. I wanted it to be Nikki, and I still maintain that Nikki Cross and Bray Wyatt together would have been entertaining.
Yeah, it would have been a better combination, but this makes sense.
Alexa is fucking killing it. That Sister Abigail is insane.
Yeah, she's
got
right.
Bray's music and his laugh playing during the match. When the music hits, she snaps. She gets DQ'd, beating up Lacey, taking her outside. Then the Fiend shows up on the Titantron and just looks down upon her.
How did the DQ happen?
I believe it was one of those where she kept beating on Lacey, and Lacey wasn't covering up, and the ref tried to pull her back, and she wouldn't stop when the ref called her to break.
So she got disqualified for dominating the match.
Yes.
I hate that shit.
I don't know if Lacey was in the ropes or not.
Yeah,
I was more distracted by like the ambiance of what was going on.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. So it's just like, wait. I'm like, wait. How did what was the DQ for? And, okay.
But I do know she took Lacey outside, hit another beautiful Sister Abigail.
This is what happens when we record the show, like immediately after the show. You know.
Yeah. Lays her out, and then climbs the rampway. And as she's climbing the rampway, Roman's music hits. Roman and Paul come out. Roman stops on the rampway to raise the Universal title, and she is just staring holes in the back of Roman Reigns' head.
So good.
We were all like, what's with the look from Roman? Now it's what's with the look from Alexa.
Yo, it's like we got Clash of Champions this Sunday, but like her looking at Roman like they're like planting seeds for the future too. And it's just like, oh, this is so fucking
I kind of wanted her to attack Paul Heyman and just to see what they would do. Like,
yeah, hit Paul Heyman with a Sister Abigail.
Go ahead and jump on Paul Heyman, start tearing him up. Something like I was all for it. Then Roman comes down, and Roman basically, Jay comes out too. Roman's like, all right, listen, man, I wish I could give you this title. I wish I could give it to you. But the fact of the matter is, you wouldn't know what to do with it if you had it. I'm the tribal chief. Kate also wanted to know if he's actually the tribal chief. Like if he is really the chief of their tribe.
you gotta like point out that like they don't really have tribes like that no more. Like that's an old thing. It's just like it's wrestling.
I had this conversation with her, and if she listens back to this podcast, she's gonna be very upset with me that I brought this up. So
that's fine. I'm not married to her. Listen, here's the thing. This is wrestling. This is TV. It's not real. It's okay. Like it's just
She was just curious. She's like, "Is he really the chief of their tribe?" And I'm like, "Yeah, and he's also really a big dog." Like,
it's fine. Don't worry about it.
She goes, but he could really be a chief. He can't really be a dog. I'm like, okay.
Here's the thing. I was asked that very same thing. So earlier tonight, and it was just like I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like it's like what the fuck? Like why are you asking? Like people who I'm not talking about Kate in this situation, but I'm so tired of people who don't really watch wrestling constantly asking, did that really happen? Is that real? Or is that just real? She really hurt? They're like, it's a fucking TV show. Just watch the shit, dude. Like, you have not been watching this long enough to try to distinguish between what's real and what's not. Just watch the fucking show.
True. So basically, Roman says, "Listen, man, you can't handle the pressure of being the champion. You're half of the greatest tag team of all time, but this isn't for you. This isn't.
This is my big boy spot. Table, motherfucker. Like, I hear you. I hear you.
This is my spot. I'm not Arn Anderson, and you ain't getting it." So,
not wearing a neck brace.
Then, as Roman goes to leave, Jay says, "But what if?"
Ooh.
And Travis, that "but what if," along with the way we finished the show, had me saying, I know how this is going to play out, but what if?
But I can't wait to see it. Oh my
what if?
God, what if? What if? Listen. I know the direction they're going in. I know it's Roman Reigns for the future until, whenever, we get him versus whoever at WrestleMania. Give me The Rock, by the way. However, what if? Like, what if motherfucking Jey Uso beats Roman Reigns this Sunday? What if? It'll never happen. There's no way that happens.
But what if?
But what if?
Like, seriously, Jay said that. Then Jay said they look at you and they say, that's the big dog. That's the Universal Champion. That's Roman Reigns. You know what they say when they see me? Which one are you? And I'm like, ooh.
And I'm like,
I felt.
I'm just like, I do that too.
Everything in this promo.
When this whole thing started, I'm like, which one is he?
Yeah. I felt everything in this promo, man. Every bit of it.
I did.
And
then have you going like, yeah, what if?
Roman Reigns lays him out on the rampway and stands tall, and I'm just like, dude, what if Jay wins?
So now it's just like, I want to watch this match, and I'm going to be sitting here motherfucking cheering for Jey Uso.
To win the Universal title.
The Universal title. How did they do that, Matt? How did they do that to me? How did they get me to the point where I'm cheering for fucking Jey Uso in a Universal title match?
Travis, I couldn't tell you. Especially because before this, we wanted this to be Big E.
Sure did.
Like, this was, in our mind, Big E's spot. He was going to go against Roman Reigns, hopefully later, and beat Roman Reigns for the title. And that's still where we want to go.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't be mad if a stop along the way led to a Jey Uso
Universal title run that lasted about a week.
How amazing also would it be to see arguably the two greatest tag teams of WWE in the last decade, in the Usos and the New Day, both
face each other with singles competition at WrestleMania for the Universal title?
I was just going to say both have Universal title credits to their name, because you've got Kofi.
No, you're not thinking big enough. I want them going against each other at WrestleMania. I want Jey Uso versus Big E at WrestleMania for the Universal title.
Speaking of which, where the fuck was Big E tonight?
That's a very good question.
Until right now, I didn't think about it.
I didn't either.
Fucked up.
Because SmackDown was good. You didn't need him, which is good. Don't just throw somebody on the show just because.
But
Big E is an attraction. But where was he?
He wasn't there to beat down fucking Corbin after the match. Nothing.
Sheamus wasn't there either, though. So
yeah, that's true.
That's where his beef is right now.
All right, Travis. I'm gonna assume you're swallowing.
Yeah, I'm swallowing SmackDown this week, man. After the way that shit ended, hell yeah, I'm swallowing that.
So am I.
I'm gonna
All right.
swallow it, make myself throw up into a cup, and then swallow it again.
Are we gonna go with Raw on Retribution, Retribution on Raw, NXT, or the 2-night spectacular that was AEW?
2 nights.
Yeah, I know. We'll talk about it when we get there.
No, I want to talk about it now. Let's go to AEW. What the fuck are you talking about?
So Tuesday night they had what they called late night Dynamite, and it was a 3-match, 1 hour long show that they played Tuesday night, and then they had regular Dynamite Wednesday.
I'm pretty sure I only saw regular Dynamite. What happened on Tuesday?
So on Tuesday night we kicked it off with Scorpio Sky defeating some guy named Ben Carter.
Yeah, definitely didn't see it because I ain't seen no damn Scorpio Sky, motherfuckers.
Scorpio Sky then said he's not done with the TNT title in a promo after the match.
Damn right he's not. Get that shit.
Anna Jay defeats Brandy Rhodes.
Who?
Anna Jay of the Dark Order.
Oh, okay.
She defeats Brandy Rhodes.
I know who Brandy Rhodes is.
Anna Jay team. Oh wait, you didn't. You probably didn't see that because most of it was on fucking Dynamite or not Dynamite. On YouTube when they had that women's tag tournament.
Oh.
And then you didn't watch last week. But anyway, Anna Jay is the female member of the Dark Order.
I saw her on the regular Dynamite. She was up on the apron and what's his butt? Like Orange Cassidy put his sunglasses on her.
Yeah.
Her?
So, yes, her.
Okay.
So she defeats Brandy Rhodes because Grayson, the bald guy of the Dark Order, of the original Dark Order.
Aren't they all bald?
Well, you have Uno with the mask, and then you have his tag team partner, Grayson.
If they're wearing those masks, they might as well all be bald.
But Grayson doesn't wear the mask. He's one of the original members of the tag team, the Dark Order.
Man, I don't care. They're all trash. Keep
Anyway,
going.
Grayson comes out to kind of try and interfere.
Yeah,
and help Anna
AEW
Jay.
fans, I said it. They're all trash.
He gets stopped by Evil Uno, but this caused a distraction that allowed Anna Jay to beat Brandy because Brandy was distracted by the interruption. And then we also had, wow, I wrote that down wrong. Yeah, I'm sorry. No, Matt Sydal, who you know as Evan Bourne.
Oh,
He's in AEW.
Born.
He had an interview where Scorpio Sky came up. They talked. They were all buddy. And then he had a match against Sean Spears.
Wait, they let him talk?
Airborne? Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Was he decent on the mic?
Yeah, it was. It was a throwaway interview.
Yeah.
They've kind
Well,
of.
you know what?
Debuted.
I'm not gonna shit on it because you can't get better if you don't try. So go ahead.
Yeah. So when he made his debut in their Casino Battle Royal.
Yeah, I remember that. He fucked up the little shooting star press.
And then they've kind of retroactively gone back and said that Michael Nakazawa went out and put baby oil all over that turnbuckle, and that's why he slipped. They've kind of made a whole comedy segment out of it, and it's kind of been this whole like, does Matt Sydal go after Nakazawa because Nakazawa was jealous?
That's fine. You know what? I'm not gonna knock him for it. If something happens, use it because there's no way you can ignore that happened. So I'm not gonna knock him for that.
He fought Sean Spears. I didn't get to see the end of the match because Late Night Dynamite started a little later on my TV, so the ending got cut off. So I don't even know who won the match.
That's weird.
I'm assuming Sydal did. We kick off regular AEW Dynamite with Miro and Kip Sabian defeating Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss.
Speaking of which, I like Miro's music.
Miro is here. It is a brand new Miro. It was his wrestling debut for AEW Dynamite.
Good choice for a ring attire, but I like his music.
Joey Janela and Sonny. I enjoy Sonny Kiss. Sonny Kiss needs a little bit of tightening as far as in-ring stuff. We talked about that.
Yeah, but he has the personality. He has the persona. He has the charisma, and that gets it for me in the first place anyway.
Joey Janela doesn't do it for me. I don't know what it is.
No, he doesn't for me either. Like him when he was talking during the his little promo, whatever. I'm like, yeah, shut up, let's go. So, yeah, he doesn't give it for me either.
It looked like Miro might have hurt his ankle during the match. I was like, oh damn, you did not just get hurt in his first match. That would have sucked. But he recovered. Were you impressed by his in-ring debut, even though it was in a tag team match? And
well, everything on AEW is a tag team match, so I'm not. So, that doesn't make a difference to me. But he Rusev has always been solid, so it's just cool. He was fine. He gave me what I expected.
My favorite thing was he went for whatever the fuck he's calling his finisher now. I don't even remember, but JR called it the accolade. and then had to go back and fix it.
Did he really? I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, JR called it. He goes, he calls that the accolade, and there was like a pause. And he goes, wait, no, it's this.
Maybe they cut that out when I watched it on TNT or something. But I didn't hear that. That's funny. I did hear them say like a version of the camel clutch. I'm like, no, it's just the camel clutch. Like it's just the camel clutch.
Just like the Steiner recliner is just the camel.
It's
clutch.
Just a camel clutch.
Yeah. Eddie Kingston comes out and cuts a promo on why he deserves a spot. So there was a lot of talk because what was supposed to happen was we were supposed to have Jon Moxley, Will Hobbs, and Darby Allin versus Brian Cage. What?
Who's Will Hobbs?
We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
You saw the main event, right?
I did.
You listened to me when I talked to you last week, right?
Oh, the black dude.
There you go.
The one when I asked you, is he big or is he just AEW big? I got words for you, sir. He's just AEW big. But anyway, go ahead.
He looks the size of Big E to me, and that's what I said.
He looks like the size of Big E compared to other compared to other AEW people. Like I'm watching him like, nah, he's just AEW big. But anyway, go ahead.
So anyway, there was a lot of hoopla because Lance Archer got COVID, so he could not show up. So the 6-man tag team match then turned into Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston.
Wait a minute. One of their people got COVID?
From his family member. He got it from a family member, so he did not show up to the arena because he tested positive, so he would not spread it around.
Okay, I'm about to say, all that shit AEW was talking, and then people were talking about, when Renee got COVID, but he got it, and we supposed to just be like, oh, okay. But he got it outside of the shit, and okay, whatever.
That is correct.
I mean, but even her, like, she got it, and they sent her home, too.
So basically,
AEW fans suck. Anyway, go ahead.
They do. I will agree with that. So there was a whole big hoopla about there's a ranking system and Eddie Kingston's not even ranked. Why is he getting this title match? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, why is he getting this title match?
He came out and cut a promo to tell us why he deserves this title match, how he's been grinding and working, and how he didn't sell out. Like, go ahead.
So about this promo and him going on about how, Moxley went to the land of sports entertainment and he didn't, and how Eddie Kingston didn't sell out. He didn't sell his soul to, them, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, because nobody wanted to buy it. Like,
I will say he is.
You don't get to talk shit about how you didn't sell out, you didn't sell your soul when nobody was trying to buy it. All right. Like, they didn't want you. That's why he didn't go. Go ahead.
He is a great promo, though.
It was a great promo. It's just like, yo, you feeding into that, AEW fan bullshit they like to swallow all day. But, cool. By the way, I don't dislike Eddie Kingston. I actually like Eddie Kingston. He tickles my fancy. But,
to be fair, Willie Hobbs has 2 inches on Big E, but Big E's got 40 pounds on him.
Yeah, like I'm saying, is he big or is he AEW
well,
big?
He's 6'1", 240, and Big E's 5'11", 285.
Yeah, so. But Big E is a big swole ass motherfucker though. Like that's different.
Okay.
He got height, but Big E got girth. He got that. Have I worn this shirt on the podcast before?
Yes, you have. Okay. Or at least I've seen that shirt. Then we had Paige defeating Evil Uno. Or I wrote down Uno, so I think it was Uno. Omega's on commentary again, basically doing the whole Omega's not going to team with Paige.
Mm-hmm. And it's like subtly bashing Paige, but not really bashing Paige. And yeah.
We get an idea that also the ref Rick Knox might be in cahoots with the Dark Order during this match. There's some shenanigans. They've been alluding to that very subtly a few times.
I didn't catch that.
Then we got Matt Jackson annoyed by.
When do we get the match, though?
What match?
The Kenny Omega versus Adam Page match.
I don't know.
Like, how long they gonna stretch this out?
I don't know. I wanted heel Adam Page versus babyface Kenny Omega because I wanted to root.
Yeah, they're gonna do it the opposite way though.
Yeah, and I'm not happy about it. I wanted a mean, angry Adam Page knocking the teeth down Kenny Omega's throat
And then having a drink afterwards. Yeah, me
a
too.
sympathetic baby face. And I'm not going to get that. Matt Jackson is annoyed.
By the way, I hate Kenny Omega's music. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, me too. Matt Jackson's annoyed by all the FTR questions. He also takes Tony's phone from him and destroys it, and then gives a half-assed apology.
Dude, Tony Schiavone. I'm watching this interview, and I'm like, wait a minute. What the fuck? When did Tony Schiavone get his ears pierced?
Oh, a while ago.
Like, when did this happen?
Him and Conrad Thompson have talked about it for a while on their podcast.
I don't listen to that one. That's the only that's actually, like, I listen to him and Eric Bischoff's podcast, 83 Weeks. I listen to Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard, but I've never listened to What Happened When.
Dude, it's my favorite one because it is so fucking funny. Like, it is funny as shit. They are entertaining as hell together. And I like Tony Schiavone, like, learning about all the stuff he didn't watch when he quit watching wrestling, or he didn't watch while he was in wrestling because he only watched WCW. He didn't watch any of the WWF product. He didn't watch any ECW. He only watched his product. And then after he left WCW, he didn't watch any wrestling until Conrad brought him back in. So it's really entertaining to see him go back and relive some of that shit. And
so there is lore behind Tony Schiavone's ear piercing.
Yes, there is.
Do you know what it is? Can you tell me?
It's really just kind of been a joke where Conrad says that he went and got his ears pierced at what the fuck's that place in the mall where girls go to get their ear pierced when they're like 13?
I don't remember the same place I got mine
Claire's.
pierced at. Claire's, yes. I got mine pierced at Claire's too.
Yeah. But as a grown-ass man.
Yeah, I was 17.
Or he makes fun of, like, you know, he says that the diamonds are fake, they're cubic zirconium, stuff like that.
When I was 17, mine were too. Then I became a grown-ass man and I got real diamonds.
Yeah, no, this is more of the frustrated Young Bucks taking it out on management. They were supposed to apologize for their actions on management. It was a very half-hearted apology.
Yeah, man, broke the man's phone and everything, and then threw cash at him. And I'm like, yeah, I appreciate it. I'm going to buy a new phone with this cash. But, like, what the fuck, bro? Like, and then, like, I remember like JR asked me, you're on the cloud, though, right? Like, yeah. I'm like, yep, I'm about to leak your news now.
Oh, nobody wants to see that, Travis.
Don't you? You're not curious?
Not even a little bit.
You're not curious what Tony Schiavone's news look like?
Honestly, of all the people on the AEW commentary team, Tony Schiavone is the last person I would rather see JR. I'm more curious about what JR's got going on than I am Tony.
I mean, JR implied that he is also on the cloud, so his news might get leaked also.
Just because JR's been a horny old pervert, so I'm sure he's taken and been sent.
He's going to show you his Oklahoma Sooner?
Yeah, exactly. Is Sooner Boomer or Boomer Sooner?
Same shit.
Brody Lee defeats Orange Cassidy in a TNT title match.
Listen, they made me believe for a second Orange Cassidy was about to win this shit.
So it was a good match then.
For a second. Yeah, I like this match.
Then returns Cody, and he is no longer a blonde.
He was never actually a blonde, so.
Well, his hair is no longer blonde. There are a lot of memes on Twitter of, I can't think of the guy's name, but some kid's show where the guy's like a thief. They're saying Cody looks just like him.
I don't know.
I was a little too old for that shit, but I know what they're talking about. Cody takes out the Dark Order lackeys. Brody Lee goes to the back. And then in an interview, Brody Lee says something along the lines of Cody went off to film a TV show. And in the meantime, his wife is posting thirst traps and calling Brody Lee daddy. And then he asks for a dog collar and chain and says he's going to chain Cody up like the dog that he is, alluding to maybe a TNT title dog collar match.
Probably.
I just want to know why Brody Lee had the dog collar ready.
Because he knew he wanted a dog collar match.
But he didn't know that before. Like, he had it ready that night. Like, he didn't know Cody was coming back that night.
He knew he'd be back eventually, so he brought it every night.
There's a part of me that thinks if Vince McMahon in the 90s was running this, that would have been Anna Jay's dog collar.
Probably.
Then we get Hardy Party, Matt Hardy and Private Party limping down to the ring. Basically, Matt Hardy calls out Chris Jericho. The Inner Circle welcomes back Sammy Guevara. And then as Matt Hardy's issuing a challenge, Marquez Quinn steps up and says he'll fight Jericho. Matt Hardy needs to heal up. Then Isaiah Cassidy one-ups his tag team partner as far as promos go. He challenges Jericho to a match. And it looks like we're going to get Isaiah Cassidy versus Chris Jericho.
Here's the thing. This was cool. It was fine. I didn't dislike this at all. How funny would it have been though if Private Party had kicked Matt Hardy in the leg? Like, why does this happen?
Why, Travis? Why?
Because fuck you. That's why. That would have been just for me. Like, if I was running AEW, I'd have that happen just to fuck with you.
We have an FTR interview. This one really also didn't do it for me. They talk about how instead of a 60-minute time limit, it's going to be a 20-minute time limit. They're going to call it a 20-minute brush with greatness. SCU gets the first shot next week. And then they start talking about all the people that don't deserve it, including the Best Friends. Best Friends, who arguably have the best theme music in AEW, come down. They want some FTR.
And they have a van, all right?
Sue's mom's van, or Trent's
mom's van.
Sue's van. And as much as I hate him, because hashtag fuck Chuck.
Fuck Chuck.
I think Chuck, if it wasn't Chuck, it was Trent, but one of them was wearing the Trent's mom's van t-shirt, which was just a picture of Sue in her van with them in the back seat with the door open.
That's so funny.
On the t-shirt.
Well, FTR it's not even that. It's like they get a 20-minute time limit. FTR doesn't even have to like get the win. They just have to like not get pinned in 20 minutes.
Yeah, if you don't beat them in 20 minutes, you lose.
Yeah, so like they win if they don't get pinned or submitted.
But that's how time limits work. If the time runs out, then the champions retain.
They retain, but they don't win the match.
Yeah,
they said they get the win if they don't get the pin.
It looks like FTR is going to give us this Best Friends match, but then they say, hey, you know what? You guys just had that parking lot brawl last week. You're not 100%. We don't want to face you when you're not 100%. It's not fair to you guys. And then they leave.
You know, for a company that, like, you know, has so many tag team matches, they don't really utilize their tag teams very well.
Really?
like how do I put this? We got this FTR thing going on. They're feuding with the Best Friends now.
Yes.
Look at your roster of tag teams. Why is Best Friends the ones you want this happening with? Like,
well, they're the most over tag team in the AEW fan base.
Are they?
They are.
Are they?
Like, I love Trent. I love the music. I love Sue's mom or Sue's van, Trent's mom's van. I don't give a fuck about Chuck. Fuck Chuck. But they really are the most over tag team in AEW.
Are they though?
Who's more over than them as a tag team?
Jurassic Express.
They're not. They're really not, Travis.
I know they're not. I know. I just wanted to say that though. You know, it's just like
you want it to happen.
I want it.
Even if it was, it's not even the version of Jurassic Express you want because
it's not. It's
Luchasaurus and Marco Stunt.
I really do. I want that so bad, man. Listen, I want that so bad. Like he like oh, that would be so perfect. Like that's the way it should be. Jungle Boy should be a singles competitor, and you give me Luchasaurus and Marco Stunt. We need to give him a different name, though. He needs some kind of dinosaur name.
Then we have Ivelisse and Diamante losing to Thunder Rosa and Hikaru Shida. And listen, I spent way too much time today on Twitter arguing with someone who was trying to tell me that Ivelisse and Diamante are better than Sasha and Bayley. Listen, Twitter, wrestling, IWC, wrestling community, wrestling Twitter. Here on the Smackin' Raw podcast, I like to say we're fairly unbiased, except for Travis. Travis clearly hates AEW.
I do.
Makes no bones about it. But I come on here and I praise the things that I enjoy about AEW and I criticize the things I don't. And I do the same thing with WWE. We'll tell you what we like and what we don't like. And that's okay. What's not okay is to dislike something and then look at their competition i.e. AEW, and say everything that AEW does, they do right. Nothing's wrong, blah, 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 because it's not fucking true. No company's perfect. It's not okay to do that. You can criticize both companies. You need to learn to accept that both companies have flaws. This weird loyalist bullshit that I see from both sides, and it's not just AEW fans, it's both sides, where AEW is like D-Rod, who was our guest last week, who absolutely hates AEW, refuses to admit that anything AEW will do is right. You know, he's cousin with Conrad Thompson. Conrad Thompson has some ins. We understand, you know, he's got Bruce Pritchard.
You got to protect those relationships. I understand.
Exactly. Like, I get it. You know, Tony's not as high on the hierarchy as, you know, Bruce Pritchard is as far as, you know, Conrad's importance. So I get it. But at the same time, like, it's not, you can't do that. If you want to, you got to be unbiased. You got to look at the product and say, okay, here are some things they do I like. Here's some things they do I don't like. But saying, oh, this is awful, I'm never going to watch it again, this is so trash, blah, 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 over one thing, and then refuse to accept any criticism of the other product when it's not perfect, fucking ridiculous. Cut your shit. There's no way in hell Ivelisse and Diamante are better than Sasha and Bailey. You cannot convince me otherwise. And I don't want to hear, well, if you had seen what they did in AAA, get the fuck out of here. What are they doing on Dynamite? That's what we're talking about. We had more MJF and Chris Jericho, where they want to know why why they called each other losers, and then they both have excuses as to why they said it, who they were talking about. MJF was talking about the driver. Chris Jericho was talking about Tony Schiavone. Then they both suck each other's dick for a little while. And then we get to our main event. Moxley defeats Kingston. Lucha Bros attacks Mox. After the match, Willie Hobbs comes down and Darby Allin comes down. They both attempt to make the save. And then Stark shows up and takes out Darby Allin after the match. I've basically lost Travis at this point. I know he's there, but
I don't care, dude. Like,
you weren't impressed at all with Willie Hobbs because he's just AEW big?
I mean, he's all right.
I mean, 6'1", 240 is nothing to shake a stick at, Travis.
It's not. It's just not all you hyped him up to be. It was, yeah. He's fine. I don't like, you know, I didn't dislike it. I'll put it that way. It's just not all you hyped it up to be.
Are you spitting or swallowing AEW this week?
I will gargle it.
All right. I'm gonna swallow this week. I enjoyed the product. I enjoyed the show. They didn't give me anything where I was like, this is absolute terrible trash other than shit the fans said. Where you want to go? Raw or SmackDown?
We already did SmackDown.
Or Raw or NXT, I'm sorry.
Let's go Raw. Monday
Night Raw. Now we're talking about shitty things. We get the debut of Retribution. It is Mia Yim, Mercedes Martinez, Dominic Dijakovic, Dio Madden, and more than likely Shane Thorne. But we find out that the names of the members of Retribution are actually T-Bar, Mace, and Slapjack.
What does T-Bar stand for, though?
Well, that depends, because according to the king, T-Bar stands for that boy ain't right. Which was the best thing about this whole reveal. Now,
bro, I lost my shit. I'm like, you know what, King? If for anything else, this is why you came back this week, to give me that.
I did a little research, and I looked, and a T-Bar, a Slapjack, and obviously a Mace are all handheld weapons to go along with this apocalyptic or post-apocalyptic feel that they have going for this team. I also tweeted out today that I feel like the Ascension would have been a much better fit for what they're trying to do with Retribution than Dominic Dijakovic and with Shane Thorne, because at least Dio Madden and Ascension have a reason to want Retribution. Dio Madden got cast aside after being taken out by Brock Lesnar. The Ascension never really got the push that they thought they deserved and then got fired. So having them come back, plus you don't really have to change the Ascension's gimmick too much.
Not much
to get there. Apparently, as flat as this fell on Monday Night Raw for a lot of people, they have been killing it in the Twitter game, and they have been getting themselves over on Twitter.
However you get there, man. Like Stewie Griffin on Family Guy once said, doesn't matter how you find the pot of gold as long as you catch the leprechaun. So get there how you get there.
The Hurt Business come out, and then they get jumped by all of the extra members of Retribution. Another thing that was interesting was during this promo, Retribution said, you know, they gave shit to all the WWE members who sold out and signed contracts, and then we find out that these people signed WWE contracts. These 5 people are under contract with WWE, and they have free reign to do whatever they want, which leaves a lot of plot holes. Why would they sign this destructive terrorist group to contracts and give them free reign?
Yeah, so what does a contract just say they can do whatever the fuck they want? Because
that's what they said.
Or do people who have contracts just get to do whatever they want?
Clearly not. Adam Pearce is in charge of everyone but Retribution.
Like, how does this work? I don't understand.
Adam Pearce is in charge of everyone except for Retribution.
No, that's the thing. Adam Pearce is in charge of nothing. That's my point.
No, he's not. Travis, you said it yourself. Everyone believes he has power. That's where the power resides. Adam Pearce is in charge of everyone except Retribution.
Because they don't believe he has power. You're right.
Correct.
You're right. You're right. You know what? I'll give that to you.
Did you see the Street Profits? Or no, what did you think of Retribution, the debut, the names, all that shit?
It was weird, but whatever. Let's get there and give me something. Like, I want something out of this. And I feel like you're going to give me something. And I saw somebody say something in the group earlier today. What if, what if Keith Lee is the mastermind behind Retribution this whole time?
Well, that is the other thing, because with me, Yim, and Dominic Dijakovic being members of Retribution, they attacked and ruined Keith Lee's shot at the title 2 weeks ago, or last week. Yeah,
but here's the thing, though. When that's your people. When that's your people.
Keith Lee's girlfriend, Dominic
When that's
Dijakovic.
your people, though. Here's the thing. If I was in the WWE, man, and I was a top star in the WWE, would I let you and your boys, you know, come at me and get their licks in on me if it meant you getting in? Yep.
Okay. Even if it costs you a title shot?
I'll get another shot. If I'm motherfucking Keith Lee, yeah, I'll get a title shot. I'll get another one. I ain't worried because I'm motherfucking Keith Lee.
I mean, this has been playing out for a while, and I guess
he is limitless.
See how it plays out, but there's a lot of question marks.
I got questions too. Definitely.
Every time Retribution does something, there are more questions and there are no answers.
Maybe that's why I'm willing to give this some more time because it's like Lost.
Did you see Andrade and Garza versus Seth and Buddy versus? So we got this triple threat tag team match with Street Profits on commentary. We got Humberto and Dominic teaming together, which was actually a really cool tag team because I forgot Humberto Carrillo existed.
I was wondering why they're a tag team. Are they a tag team because they're both Mexican?
No, don't you remember that when all this stuff originally happened, Humberto and Aleister Black were like Ray's proteges or whatever?
Oh, like 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and then it stopped like 3 months ago.
And then Humberto just disappeared.
Yeah, and came back this week. Okay,
he's gotcha. With Dominic.
All right.
And Seth and Buddy. Seth bailed on Buddy Murphy. Said, fuck it, he's got more important things to do, which led to a whole fucking terrible thing later. Andrade and Garza get the win. So at Clash of Champions, we're going to get another Street Profits versus Andrade and Garza match.
God damn it. Sorry.
For the titles.
Celtics
no, I feel the same way. Like,
yeah,
man,
watching the fucking Celtics won, man. Like, that's some trash, dude.
Oh, that I don't care about. I meant I felt the same way. Like, why are we seeing Andrade and Garza versus Street Profits again?
Well, that too. That's why I just really didn't care, which is why I felt the need to go ahead and check to see who won the game.
If Andrade and Garza don't win, what has been the point of doing this?
There is no point. The whole point was getting Zelina Vega into a position where she can start competing. Like, that's what that all was. Once again, the reason why the women's division on Raw is the best one.
Did you see the Kevin Owens show?
Yes.
You saw it on Raw and not on YouTube?
I actually saw it on Raw. Yes.
Okay. Did you not go watch YouTube this week?
I didn't watch YouTube this week.
Good. All right, so Shane's on the KO show.
I might watch it next week though.
We do a lot of hinting
Because I do
at
what I
the
want.
history of Shane and Kevin Owens and how they're not okay and they're not friends and they had problems. Shane brings out Dabba-Kato. Kevin Owens brings out Braun Strowman. As Shane's trying to keep those two separated to save it for later in the night, Black shows up and takes out Kevin Owens, racking him on the turnbuckle post. Nothing, Travis. Here's my thing. Kevin Owens or Aleister Black took that eye patch off to wrestle. So why is he putting it back on?
I wasn't going to question it.
No,
I was
fuck
like,
that,
I thought he took that off. Why is he wearing it again?
Listen,
And I was just like, you know what? Never mind.
I got my Aleister Black shirt on. I love me some Aleister Black, but he took the eye patch off. Why the fuck are you putting the eye patch back on, Kevin? Or Aleister? Look, they got me all fucked up. Why are you putting the eye patch back on, Aleister?
Because he looks cooler with the eye patch on.
No, he doesn't. He's not a fucking pirate.
No, I'm saying, according to them, he looks cooler with the eye patch on.
It's not even really an eye patch. It's like a fucking scarf over his eye. It's like he tied a bandana over his fucking face. Then we see Retribution beating up more people backstage. Did you see Keith Lee versus Drew?
I did. And I was like, why are they having this match? We know they're not going to give us a conclusion, but they did it anyway.
And they didn't give us a conclusion.
Of course not.
Keith Lee's ring attire needs some work, man.
I got thoughts on this too.
I want to hear them because, listen, here's my thing. If you're gonna do like the vest, the shirt thing, make the vest match the pants. Make them match the shorts.
That's not the problem because Bret Hart
did. That was my problem.
No, that's not my problem because talk about Bret Hart's the same way. He did the same thing with a singlet under the long tights or whatever. Mismatch doesn't matter.
He had colors. It was pink and black. He was the pink and black attack.
Here's the thing. This is why it would make very much sense for Keith Lee to be the mastermind behind Retribution the whole time. This whole thing of them trying to change his look and change his music and all that shit makes sense to me. It would be so fucking great. However, what I really want to say, the whole singlet thing and that weird shirt thing, Under Armour shirt thing he was wearing that first week and all that, whatever you're trying to cover up with that, it's only accentuating it. Like, it's making it more pronounced when he has that on. Like, it draws.
He looks worse with that stuff on than he would without it.
Exactly. Like, it makes you look at his stomach and shit. And honestly, like, they've talked about it before on other podcasts, other WWE superstars and officials. Like, yo, Keith Lee is bigger, but he's not like tight like that. But you see him being big, there's muscle there. Like, that's not all flab and fat. Like, he's just fucking big.
Yeah, it looks like me when I take my shirt off.
Yeah, sure, Matt. But it's just like, yo, the dude is like, it's not like all fat like that. Like, he's just solid. So, like, just let him take the fucking shirt off, bruh.
Solid.
I say that
know.
every time I look in the mirror.
I'm hoping that you're right and it is something about this because, like I said, I see this black Under Armour shirt and then he's got gray and pink pants on, and if this is gonna be his regular look, if this is gonna be a regular thing, if this isn't like part of a story, at least get your fucking gear to match because it's more distracting and looks way worse.
Yeah,
when it's all fucked up.
Well, I hate it to begin with anyway, so it's just I'm with you. I'm not liking it either. But if it turns out that Keith Lee is the mastermind behind Retribution to begin with, which I'm like 97% sure he's not anyway. But if it is the case, like, it would all be worth it in the end.
So Randy Orton causes a DQ, shoves a chair into Drew's mouth, and injures his fractured jaw more than likely.
If he really has a fractured jaw, because,
He also punts Keith Lee.
Disrespect.
There's some statistics about how many of Keith Lee's matches has ended in DQ or lost.
All of them except the one he beat Randy Orton in.
Since he debuted. Yeah.
That's why I said, like, I don't know why they did this match, because I'm like, there's no way they're giving us a real finish.
Randy then cuts a promo. Basically, it's him versus Drew in an ambulance match
Yeah.
at Clash of Champions for the title.
Yeah, we knew that was coming though.
Did you see the Asuka interview where she's interrupted by Billie Kay and Peyton Royce?
Yes.
Okay. Asuka's backstage getting interviewed. Billie Kay interrupts, basically says, oh, Asuka's just handing out title shots. She wants one. Peyton steps in and said, yeah, I want one too. And Peyton gets a shot and Billy doesn't.
Yeah. That's how it goes. Because Peyton's the one that they want to push. So, they put it right on screen for us, and that was funny.
Even though Billy has the better music and entrance and aesthetic since they've split up. Did you see Zelina Vega versus Mickie James?
Yeah.
Okay. Zelina Vega defeats Mickie James, getting a match at Clash of Champions against Asuka, and apparently it is a pre-show match.
I hate her music, by the way.
Zelina?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to talk about how this is a pre-show match? The Raw Women's Championship is being defended on the pre-show of a pay-per-view?
I don't like it, but some match has to be on the pre-show.
Yeah. We couldn't put the Street Profits versus Andrade and Garza for the 15th time on the pre-show.
Oh, yeah. I'm just, again, like I said, how I originated, I don't like it. But I know some matches are going to go on the pre-show, and, Street Profits are dope, so, I like seeing them. It's just one of those things, just like, I don't know, like.
My thing is the women's title should never be on the pre-show because you would never put the WWE or Universal title on the pre-show.
This is true. But it's Zelina.
Well, they made that choice. They could have put Bianca in the spot.
They could have, but even then, it would have just at the position that Bianca's in right now, it would have been like, it's Bianca though. Like, it's just like, it's not a high-profile story. Again, I don't like it, but it is what it is. It's like, why are you doing that? But it's like, if every title is on the line at this pay-per-view, a title match is going to be on the pre-show.
I agree.
So it's just like, this would not have been my choice. I don't like it, but I kind of understand why they did it.
But also, this is the 5th time or 4th time we've seen Bayley versus Nikki Cross. So why isn't that on the pre-show, but Zelina versus Asuka is?
Because Bayley's a part of a major story.
Did you see the Bianca Belair promo?
No.
She had her own vid package. Did you see the 24/7 title?
No.
Did you see the Hurt Business calling out Retribution for the 6-man tag?
Yes.
Dude, Cedric Alexander said, fuck you and your kids.
Yeah, man.
So we got a singles match.
During this whole thing, this whole thing has made me love the Hurt Business like so much more.
The Hurt Business called him out for the 6-man tag, but Ced gets on the mic because he's got a singles match against Apollo. And he says, I don't care about you or your kids. He said, fuck you and them kids. And I'm just like, dude, where has this Cedric Alexander been this entire time?
He was a face. He couldn't do that. They turned him heel. He's so much better as he. I said it when he first turned heel. I like heel Cedric.
Apollo defeats Cedric Alexander, and then him and Ricochet get jumped by the Hurt Business after the match. Did you see Raw Underground?
Yes.
So you saw Ziggler versus Ruas?
Wait. Did I? Yeah, I did. Like, wait a minute. Did they cut Underground? No, they didn't. I didn't. I saw it.
So there was
like
Ziggler versus.
when I watched it, but I saw it.
There's Ziggler versus Arturo Ruas. And then that ends, and there's a Braun Strowman interview in the first Raw Underground segment.
Oh, I didn't see that part then. No, I saw Braun fighting
Dabba-Kato.
Yeah, that big motherfucker.
Yeah, but Dabba-Doo. All right, so then you also didn't see Riddick Moss versus Eric of the Viking Raiders.
No.
Okay. Did you see? Well, I'm sure you did. So they could have done this so much better, and this got so fucking weird. Seth questions Dominic's paternity or Ray's paternity.
And when this started, I'm like, really? Are we really gonna do this? Are we gonna do this? Really? R.I.P.
Like, I would have
Eddie.
been
Like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
there's a way they could have gone about it that I would have been okay with.
and what's that way?
Well, didn't they determine that Eddie was actually Dominic's father? And that's
He
why
won
they
the
had
match. You're right. He won the match.
So, like, we could have played that up.
He could have. They definitely could have, but they're
But
like
we
they
do this weird.
Yeah, they played that line, but didn't like want to go all the way there. If you're gonna do it, then fucking do it. Yeah.
If you're gonna go in, go all the way in. Don't just stick the head in.
Exactly.
Give it everything you got.
Exactly. You don't want to just put the head in. Give it a whole shaft.
Then we say maybe Dominic is your kid, but maybe you're not Aaliyah's father. So apparently, Seth Rollins just thinks Angie's a hoe.
And
Angie's out.
The problem is with that
Ray's wife is just out fucking everybody.
And my thing is the proof he used. Like, I have proof because she stopped for a second before she got in the ring to make sure Murphy was okay. Maybe she's just a decent human being, sir.
Oh, now you sound like Kenny from Kenny for Your Thoughts.
Who?
Kenny?
I know.
On the show?
I know.
Because he said the same thing, that was her just being a decent human being.
That's what that sound like to me. Well, what it looked like to me is just like if you see somebody hurting, you stop and like, yo, you all right?
So after all this shit gets weird, because it's why did she check on Buddy? Ray says don't talk about his daughter. And then he basically cuts a promo on the internet wrestling community. All those creeps that came out and said, hey, Ray, no disrespect, but I want to fuck your daughter, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's who that promo was for. Seth was a prop for Ray to tell people, keep my daughter's name out your mouth and stop being fucking disrespectful to me and my family.
Yeah, I guess. My thing was, it felt very awkward. Like, it was just like, it felt like the end was just like thrown in, like she's naive and she doesn't know. But I'm like, you've been in the wrestling business since she's been born. Yes, she does know. Like, it's like, no, that doesn't make any sense, dude. Like, shut up.
Also, I will say this. All of you people who were like, leave Aaliyah alone. She's only 19. Like, you guys say it like she's 15. Like, she is 19. She can vote. She is a legal adult. She's a grown-ass woman.
She can enlist in the army if she wants.
50-year-old men or 30-year-old men should not be going on Twitter talking about how they want to fuck a 19-year-old.
It's weird.
But at the same time, do not treat her like she is a child like Ray is doing. Because she is not. She's a grown-ass woman. She's 19 years old. She can vote.
And she can
drink
join the army.
She can join the army. She's not. It's not 15. It's not pedophilia or any of that bullshit.
She can buy cigarettes.
But also don't be creepy. All you old ass men, don't be creepy and tweet at her or tweet at her father or tweet at her brother.
Man. It's fucking weird.
In general, do not go online and tweet in general that you want to fuck a 19-year-old.
That's weird.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Very bad.
Yeah. You make us all look bad when you do that really shit. Like,
stop that shit. What the fuck is wrong with you? Find someone your own age.
Exactly.
Or at least like near your own age.
19-year-olds don't know what the fuck they're doing anyway. You don't want them.
So Seth basically apologizes for driving a stake through the family. And then we get backstage and Aaliyah's pissed because she is 19 and she's not here for Ray's bullshit saying she's naive and she doesn't know what she's doing. And we also get Buddy Murphy backstage trying to comfort her. Kenny thinks that maybe this is a little bit of manipulation from Buddy and Seth on Aaliyah.
We'll see.
Did you see Nia and Shayna versus Natalya and Lana?
No.
Did you see Asuka versus Peyton Royce?
Yes.
Zelina caused a DQ.
Yeah, whatever.
They got a match. You said you saw Braun defeat Dabba-Kato.
Yeah.
In Raw Underground. Kind of surprised me.
It didn't surprise me, but I hated that it happened. It was just like, I'm watching this. I'm like, yo, this should not happen. Braun Strowman has no business on Underground. Not for the reason that you don't want him on Underground, because he's a SmackDown superstar and shouldn't be on Raw Underground. But Braun Strowman is not the kind of superstar that should be on Raw Underground. His level is not supposed to be on Underground. That's not what it's for.
Okay.
From what I've seen, his level is not supposed to be there. He needs to stay his ass out there on the main stage in the ring. He should not be underground.
I agree. Former Universal Champions, SmackDown contract employees should not be on Raw Underground or on Raw, period. Then we got our main events where we got the names for the group members.
3 of them.
Retribution, Slapjack, T-Bar, and Mace take on the Hurt Business. For some reason, Cedric Alexander is in this match, joining Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley, even though he competed. I was very interested in the fact that MVP was not up there competing in this match.
I mean, that's what you wanted, though, right?
Yes and no. Yes and no. I said that he could team up with the Hurt Business. I didn't want to see him taking the U.S. title or WWE title shots away from Bobby Lashley. He shouldn't be the main singles guy. Is what
I know. I'm just fucking with you because I know other people are talking shit to you.
Here's the thing. We need to clarify things on this podcast for any new listeners we might have so they know where we stand.
Okay. Tell them where we stand.
He can be in tag matches, but he shouldn't be the main singles guy.
He should not. You're right.
So, yeah, it was a little weird that they had said compete twice here.
He got the win for it, so it's fine.
No, he didn't get the win. The match got thrown out.
I said wind.
Oh, wind. Okay. I thought you said he got the win for it. I'm like, no. They threw the match out, and this pissed me off. Because this is another one of those weird, stupid WWE non-rule things. The guy on the apron hit the legal opponent.
Yeah, that was so stupid.
And they threw the match out.
So fucking stupid. So what happens every time they break up a pin?
Exactly.
Like they pin the dude and their team member comes out and kicks him to break up the pin. That's okay though.
When someone gets whipped into the corner and gets hit.
Yeah, all that shit. That's all okay. But this particular one,
because he let go of the tag rope and he walked a little ways down the apron.
I mean, they got to let go of the tag rope to go in and break the pin. So
yeah, no, it was weird. I didn't like it. I
don't like it either. I don't like it's fucking stupid.
But then all the lackeys come out and attack, and Drew comes down with the entire locker room. So the Hurt Business said, hey, we got this. We'll handle it. And then Drew McIntyre decided finally he's sick of this shit. He got the whole locker room together. They came out. They all start brawling, and Randy ends the night by RKOing Drew. Yeah. Raw, spit or swallow.
Swallow it.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I like what they did with the Hurt Business tonight. I didn't like the race shit. That was stupid. But the Retribution stuff, at least they gave us something with it. I didn't like it as much as I thought I would, but they gave us something. So, yeah, I'll swallow it.
I'm spitting. I didn't really like anything on this show. I mean, the Hurt Business, I'm cool with. The Cedric stuff was good, but that was really about it.
My thing is, I guess it's just like I really like the Hurt Business stuff because they're the ones when this all was coming together were the ones that stepped up. It's like, you know what? Nobody's doing anything about this Retribution shit. We'll do something about it. You have to pay me. We're going to do some shit, but we're going to do nobody else did anything. And, if you think about it, that inspired the entire locker room to fight back. Because every time that Retribution attacked before, the rest of the locker room just let it happen. But once the Hurt Business stepped up to fight them, everybody else stepped up to fight them.
This Hurt Business thing has left me jaded because they were on Raw and SmackDown, then they stopped being on SmackDown and were just on Raw. They never attacked NXT.
You mean Retribution?
Yeah, Retribution.
Yeah, you said Hurt.
They never attacked NXT, even though they were supposed to be an outside entity that wasn't.
Well, they all came from NXT though, so that wasn't gonna happen.
It doesn't matter. Because right now in kayfabe, it's not Mia Yim and Mercedes Martinez and Dominic Dijakovic and Dio Madden and Shane Thorne. It's T-Bar, Mace, Slapjack, Reckoning, and Redemption, I think.
Maybe in kayfabe, they're still the same people. They adopted new names. You don't know. Because they didn't hide their faces. Like
they wore Bane masks.
Yeah, but we can clearly see who they are, though, Matt. Especially Mia Yim out there with the fucking blue hair. We know exactly who the fuck that is.
I don't know. I'm spitting. I was not a fan of most of this. It really kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. Not good enough for Hulu, Monday Night Raw edition. We got Bianca Belair. She is in the gym working out. They do a video package for her, hyping her up.
Good. Do something with her.
They're going to put her on TV and use her.
Nothing.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Then we got a 24/7 title competition at the beach. Tozawa and one of the ninjas are in the ocean. There's a shark who's in the water, and then the 24/7 title gets lost, and little Jimmy gets lost.
Little
And
Jimmy. They brought back little Jimmy?
he goes in the ocean and saves both of them. And then he's explaining to little Jimmy why you don't mess with sharks, because there's tattered ninja garbs, as alluding to the fact that one of the ninjas got eaten by a shark. Or Tozawa. He said Tozawa got eaten.
Oh.
Tozawa got eaten by a shark.
I fucking love R-Truth.
I don't at this point. This has got way out of hand. It was so much better when it was R-Truth and Carmelo, and they were just running around and people were trying to beat them.
I agree. It would be a lot better if they had Carmelo with him, which probably would make him he'd make Hulu if he had Carmelo with him still.
This has been awful. All of it. The restaurants, the parking lots, the
Matt, there's ninjas. I think maybe I like it because I haven't actually seen it.
Probably.
But the way you describe it seemed like
also, I feel like hearing the pain in my voice as I repeat what happened helps you enjoy it a little more, because it hurts me.
Possibly. But like you describing what is essentially R-Truth, which I love, combined with ninjas, which I love. And the way you describe it makes it sound fucking awesome. So it's like,
if I make that sound awesome, I apologize to our listeners, because it's not.
It sounds awesome to me, but I'm weird like that. So
Raw Underground, we have Ziggler defeating Arturo Rujas, and then Brianna Brandy, who is ringside, gets the interviewer duties from Shane McMahon. She interviews Braun Strowman. He basically says he's going to kill everyone, and if Shane wants some, he can get some too. Then we have Riddick Moss defeating Eric of the Viking Raiders.
So I don't like Raw Underground, man. But anyway, keep going.
I know you don't. And then Nia and Shayna squash Natalya and Lana. The Riot Squad are on commentary. Liz gets attacked and then pulled out of the way and saved by Ruby Riott.
Who?
Liv Morgan.
Oh, Liv. Okay, I'm like
Liv.
Yeah. I thought you said Liz. I'm like, who the fuck is Liz? Okay.
Nia, for whatever reason, picks up Lana and puts her through the announce table again.
Because fuck Lana.
We're getting Nia and Shayna versus the Riot Squad at Clash of Champions. That could have also been on the pre-show over Asuka and Zelina.
I'm 100% with you on that one. That would have definitely been a good pre-show match. Because
I'm losing you, Travis.
Uh-oh.
Travis.
Failure. System failure. System failure.
So yeah, Travis, not good enough for Hulu. The 24/7 shit that you seem to enjoy for whatever goddamn reason. This Nia versus Shayna stuff, as I said, should be on the pre-show over Asuka, Zelina, but whatever. Then the two Raw Underground fights and Bianca Belair's promo. You said you're swallowing. I'm spitting. Let's move on to NXT.
Okay.
We got a women's battle royal. Candice LeRae wins. Before the match, she takes out Tegan Nox. Apparently, unfortunately, Tegan Nox has possibly another torn ACL. This girl just can't keep her knees healthy at all. What was weird for me on NXT this week, I don't know if you noticed this, but they had the piped-in crowd noise.
Yeah.
And nobody in the crowd.
I didn't notice there was nobody in the crowd. I stopped paying attention to the crowd on NXT a while ago. So
nobody was in the crowd.
Interesting. Okay.
Because I was like, why don't they have the dudes in the crowd for this women's match? And then as I watched the show, nobody was in the crowd the entire night. So apparently they've decided to go with the piped-in crowd noise and lose the wrestlers at ringside.
And just not really. Well,
Period.
yeah, maybe they just didn't really try to not really show the crowd area at all because I didn't even notice.
Here's the thing. I thought Shotzi might win this, Travis.
Oh,
I
they
wanted Shotzi
teased
to
it.
win this.
Oh, they teased. They made you think it might happen.
I was,
But it made sense with who won though.
It
Who
does,
won
it
made
does.
sense. So it was like, okay.
dude, it was right there. I was like, oh my God.
Well, they started it off like, okay, it's about to come down to fucking. Oh my God.
Rhea and Giant Gonzalez.
Yeah. Like it's gonna come down to those two at the end. Then like, oh no, they both out. Wait a minute. Oh, Shotzi might win this shit. Oh
Yeah.
Nope.
Yep.
When it came down to her, I'm like, oh no, Candace about to win this. When it came down to the two of them, I'm like, Candace about to win this.
Because Io's technically right now a babyface. Candace is the heel.
Yeah.
It made sense.
At that
I
point,
didn't like the way they eliminated Shotzi though. That weird like on the fucking stairs. You remember when you were a kid or your parents would like lay on their back and they put you on their feet and look like you were flying?
Yeah, I also remember doing that to Kobe. So
Yeah, exactly. You do it to your little nieces or nephews.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that's what this was, but then she just flipped her.
Yeah.
And I was not a fan.
It's fine. It was one of those like, okay, we got the finish out of it. It's whatever. We knew there was
Casey Catanzaro had some cool spots in here too where she landed on her butt, kept her feet off the ground, did a handstand, pulled herself back in the ring.
Like, oh, look at you channeling you in a Kofi.
Just standing on the guardrail. Had me worried a couple times on that guardrail that she was going to fall and break her neck.
Yeah, holding on to the little plexiglass thing.
Yeah.
That like that. Those aren't stable. Don't hold
At
that.
all.
Like,
At all. Like, what if those had fallen in and she just, you're so tiny, like you're going to break.
yeah.
Then we had Fandango backstage with William Regal, and he creates a weird tag team thing. You didn't see this.
Nope.
Did you see Damian Priest promo?
Yes.
How do you feel about Damian Priest?
Still don't care.
Did you see Ciampa versus Atlas?
No.
Did you see the tag team match that Fabian Eichner and Raul Mendoza versus Roderick Strong and Danny Burch?
Who?
Imperium, one half of Imperium and one half of Legado del Fantasma
Okay.
versus one half of Undisputed Era and one half of Burch. And
I know
Lorcan.
who Roderick Strong is. That's the only one out of all those names I recognize.
Did you see him in a match?
No. That's why
Okay,
I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Did you see Johnny Gargano gassing up Austin Theory prior to Austin Theory's match?
I did see that.
Johnny's out there just pumping this man up. And Beth Phoenix fucks up because Beth Phoenix is like, it doesn't seem like Johnny Gargano has a lot of faith in Austin Theory. And then there was like a silence for like 30 seconds. And then Tom Phillips comes in and he goes, actually, I think it's just the opposite. And Beth tried to save it, but it was clear like she wasn't paying attention or she didn't really hear that promo. And she was just speaking on some shit.
Yeah, she's just talking. Yeah, it happens.
So Johnny gasses up.
When you
Theory
get paid
before-
to talk on a weekly basis, sometimes you fuck up, you know?
Yep. Theory gasses up Priest, hoping that Theory will beat down Priest or hurt Priest prior to their match at TakeOver. Theory ends up losing to Damian Priest. Dude, he did the fucking cross power bomb on the apron, the hardest part of the ring, and didn't pin him. Instead, he still went in and did the goddamn crossroads.
Yeah, I know. And when I saw it, I'm like, oh, Matt hates this. Just, when I saw it happen, the first thing that popped into my head, like, Matt hates this so much.
If you're going to do the cross power bomb, just do the cross power bomb. You don't need the crossroads.
You don't.
It's not even as cool. Gargano shows up with a super kick after the match, lays out Damian Priest. Johnny Gargano is the number one contender for the NXT North American Championship right now.
Yeah.
Did you see the weird video package? It was like a video game.
I don't think so.
Did you see Ridge Holland defeat a jobber?
I don't even know what the fuck Ridge Holland is.
I figured you didn't. And then our main event was the Gauntlet Eliminator. This took up most of it.
I didn't see that either.
Bullshit. Bullshit. So here's the thing. I really thought that Cameron Grimes was going to win this, become number one contender, and go on to face Finn Balor. I did not think they were going to take another member of Undisputed Era,
The
other
one
than
who
Adam
I
Cole,
can never remember.
and make this man number one contender. For
I specifically remember having a conversation with you. I'm like, yo, I know the members, like 3 of the members of the Undisputed Era. You know, we got Adam Cole, we got Bobby Fish, we got Roderick Strong, and I never remember who the other one is.
The other one is your number one contender for the NXT.
He's the number one contender. I have no idea what the fuck this.
Well, what trips me out is so Kyle O'Reilly.
What's his name?
Kyle O'Reilly.
Okay. Question.
Yes.
Is it Kyle O'Reilly or is it Kylo Riley?
Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh.
Not Kylo Riley.
I didn't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what the fuck this dude's name is.
It's not a Kylo Ren character.
I didn't know. I didn't know, man.
I
had
Kate,
no idea.
I got Kate watching The Mandalorian. So, dude, real quick, sidebar. We were in the car. So what we did was we did some shopping, and then she wanted some food. So I've been trying to get her to watch for a while, and she's one of those people where if like too many people says a show's good, she doesn't want to watch it.
Tell her that Travis, a non-Star Wars person, said it was pretty cool.
She won't care. If too many people say it's a good show, she just doesn't want to watch it because she feels like it's been hyped up too much and she doesn't want to be part of it.
What about the boys?
One of those people. She watches that, but she didn't get all the hype before she started watching that. So
okay.
That's what it is. If it gets hyped up too much before she watches it, she's automatically against it. So
did it happen with Breaking Bad also?
Yeah, she has not finished Breaking Bad. She has not watched it.
That's so sad. It's like one of the greatest shows that's existed in television in the past 20 years.
I got her to watch maybe the first couple episodes, and she's like, I don't give a fuck, and she won't watch the rest of it. Anyway, so I make a deal with her. I'm like, watch the first episode of The Mandalorian. She goes, I will if you go in and you go get my food so I don't have to get out of the car. So I go in and get the food. While we watch the first episode.
It's a good deal.
Right? We watched the first episode, and then I'm like, all right, so you watched one episode. And she goes, yeah. I'm like, so you're good then. We don't need to watch anymore. She goes, well, the Baby Yoda just showed up. So like,
yeah,
I was like, okay.
That'll do it.
Then we watched the second
because
episode.
There's no way you can compete with how fucking cute the Baby Yoda is.
No,
you're right.
So we watched the second episode. And then we're driving in the car today. And I told her, I was like, so do you want to watch some more of The Mandalorian? And she goes, yeah, I mean, I'm like, yeah, I understand if you don't, because, the second episode wasn't that great. And then she started telling me all of the reasons why the second episode was good. And I just sat there and I couldn't hide my smile. She goes, I fucking hate you. You tricked me. Blah, 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 blah. And then we watched like 2 or 3 more episodes before SmackDown tonight. So
good.
Yeah. No, she's hooked.
Even as someone who doesn't give a shit about Star Wars, I like that show. So, yeah.
But anyway, Kyle O'Reilly wins this gauntlet eliminator. I really didn't think they were going to do it. Kushida gets screwed over by Dream during this match. Dream, who apparently is not on injured reserve, comes out, screws over Kushida.
He is.
He wasn't too injured to come out and hit the Dream DDT.
That doesn't mean he's not on injured reserve.
Okay. I'm just saying his arms seem to be fine to hit the DDT.
Looks can be deceiving, Matt. You don't know what that man is going through.
Fair enough. Yeah, I can't believe Kyle O'Reilly was supposed to be part of the tag team. Like, it was Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. Roderick Strong was the mid-card guy. Adam Cole was the main event guy. That was the faction. Somehow, Kyle O'Reilly is now the number 1 contender. And Roderick Strong got pushed to the tag team ranks.
He doesn't even have the interesting name in the tag team. The other one was Bobby Fish. Like, he had an interesting name,
Now I got the fucking hiccups, of course. Adam Cole and Bobby Fish come out and celebrate with O'Reilly. After the match, Finn Balor then comes out on the rampway, points the fingers at Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle actually looks a little intimidated here.
Who wouldn't be? In NXT.
By Finn Balor?
Yes. In NXT.
Dexter Lumis?
Well, yeah, he doesn't have feelings at all. So, yeah, he'd never be intimidated by anything.
You asked me who.
I know, and I'll give you that one. Where the fuck is he?
David, injured.
Oh.
Yeah, I believe he got hurt.
Damn.
He got hurt when they were doing that Battle Royal, or not Battle Royal, all those number 1 contender matches for the North American title.
Oh, I remember that now. Okay, yeah.
All right, Travis, not good enough for Hulu NXT edition because there wasn't a whole lot to talk about. Dude, these hiccups, now I'm all fucked up. Fandango creates a weird tag team setup. So basically, one half of 4 tag teams are going to compete in a tag team match, and then the winner of that match, those tag teams are going to face each other, and then the winner of that will face Fandango. So it's Fabian Eichner of Imperium teaming with Raul Mendoza of Legado del Fantasma, taking on Roderick Strong of Undisputed Era and Danny Burch of Burch and Lorcan. Strong and Burch win, so now Undisputed Era will take on Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. Winner of that match takes on Fandango.
Yeah, I don't care.
And we have this really cool package. So, Ciampa defeated Jake Atlas, which I think we saw coming. So apparently on October 4th, is that next Wednesday? Two Wednesdays.
I don't even know what you're saying right now. What did you say?
October 4th. When is that?
That is
2
2 weeks, yeah.
All right. There was a package, and it looked like a video game where this person is basically coming back to NXT, says they're a former champion, that they've had paper champion. Stop laughing at this, Travis. I can't do anything about it. We are here now. We're just going to push through. Said NXT has only had paper champions. He's coming back to reclaim the NXT title. It's weird, like night vision, invading a room, smashing glass, stealing the NXT title, like this really cool thing. I don't know who it's going to be. But that's not good enough for Hulu or NXT edition. The Fandango tag team stuff, Ciampa defeating Atlas, and this returning person's video package.
Okay.
NXT Spit or Swallow.
Well, I'll gargle it.
Yeah, they're Kyle O'Reilly was kind of surprising. The women's battle royal was cool, so I'm going to swallow.
Yeah.
That was most of the show, though.
I understand. SmackDown.
SmackDown was best show of the week for you?
Yep.
I'm going to agree.
Fucking crazy. Remember how long we were shitting on SmackDown?
Long time.
All it took was a Roman Reigns heel turn with Paul Heyman, and all of a sudden, the show is so good. It's almost like they could have done this years ago. And it just like they could have just turned Roman Reigns heel so long ago. Like, we wanted to boo the man. We wanted to see him as the bad guy. And they kept trying to make him the good guy. And it's like, yo, we don't want that. Just make him the bad guy. And we're with it.
I agree. You got anything we need to announce?
Not right now.
All right. So you guys can find Travis on Twitter and Instagram at Sir Cussalott. That is at SIR_CUSSALOTT. You guys can find me on Twitter only at Matt Ritter. That is at MATTRIDDER. I didn't do the Black Lives Matter thing. You guys know, if you guys go to my Twitter at Matt Ritter, you guys can find the link for the Young Kings Wrestling Black Lives Matter t-shirt. So you guys can buy that t-shirt, and those proceeds go to support causes that support the Black Lives Matter movement.
Also, if you look at my pinned tweet, there is a commercial from some Atlanta strippers who are encouraging you to get out there and vote right now. There's links to get yourself registered to vote, figure out where you can vote and all that kind of stuff. And you get to look at strippers. You know, who doesn't love that?
We always encourage you guys, especially now, to go out and vote, especially in local elections, as well as protest.
And they encourage that as well. They definitely specify how important local elections are. So
donate and
at
petitions.
Sir_Cussalott at SIR_CUSSALOTT. Go there.
And if the fact that, for all of you people who say all lives matter, don't see that right now a fucking wall got justice and Breonna Taylor's family didn't, that all lives clearly don't matter. I don't know how else to explain this to you or point it out to you. It is a travesty that out of everyone that got indicted, this one man was indicted for shooting into a neighboring apartment, shooting a wall, not for killing a woman, for shooting a wall, and then $15,000 bond. So he was out with $1,500.
Yeah.
But all lives matter.
Yeah.
Except Breonna Taylor's. and basically every other person of color that's been attacked and
1,500
murdered by the
got him
government.
out.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I worked as a valet. I got that. Like, it's just like, come on now.
Something needs to change. Something needs to be done. So please make your voice heard. Go out, vote, do something about it. Help make some change. It's really disappointing that we're at this point in America and that there's opposition to the idea that people should be treated equally, and that people don't understand that that's what this movement is about, and they think it's something else. It's fucking weird, and we don't like it. You guys can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Creation World. That's where you guys will get all of your Creation World podcasts, old episodes of Super Flash Hero of Tomorrow, #Them Thrones, and the Smackin' Raw podcast, as well as Creation Conversation once a month, every month. You guys can find that on all our streaming platforms, and those can be found on Linktree at Linktree/Creation World. Also, Linktree/Smackin' Raw will get you the audio version of this podcast in its many various forms. You guys can find that. Linktree/Creation World will also take you to our merch store. Thank God my hiccups are gone. Our Pornhub and our YouTube. Please go subscribe to the YouTube. We have 64 views on a Pornhub video. We don't have that on YouTube. I love that we are the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub. But like, for us to get sponsorships and make some money and do some cool things on this, we need those YouTube follows and views to go up. Keep watching on Pornhub, but go like and subscribe us on YouTube. Go hit that button.
Yeah, just hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Get us all to, you know what? Just get us to 100. Like, for real. What the hell? Why don't we have 100 subscribers on YouTube yet? Do better.
We have more than 100 listeners. I'm assuming. I wouldn't know, but I'm assuming there are at least 100 of y'all listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
So if there are at least 100 people listening to me talk about wrestling every week, then you guys should be going to YouTube to go look at my beautiful face.
The discrepancy between the listens in the audio version versus the views on the YouTube version are ridiculous. Do better, y'all. Just all you listening right now, go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. I'm going to put the link in the subscription in the description on the podcast. You can click that. Just click on it and just hit the subscribe button. Just do that.
You guys can also follow Creation World on Twitter and Instagram at The Creation World. That is at TheCreatia World. No new Super Flashy.
Yeah, because I kind of fucked up. And
well, you and Mara fucked up.
Well, it wasn't. It was kind of us, but it was also kind of, DC not communicating properly. But we
talked about it.
Yeah.
So guys, please go do that. I think that's it.
Melissa Benoist had a baby.
That's fantastic, Travis.
What, man? We got a Supergirl baby. Yeah, super baby.
Did she do a panel where she talked about like how she got knocked up by a human?
No, man. He's from that other planet over there by Krypton. Remember?
Is that who knocked her up?
Yeah, that was the fuck is his name on the show? God damn it. Dude from the other the non-Krypton planet.
I know who you're talking about, but you're the
fuck
host.
Is his name? Chris Wood is his name. I don't remember his name on the show.
Does it start with an M?
Probably. The fuck is his name, Matt?
Travis, you're the host of that podcast. I'm not helping you here.
Whatever. I don't care.
Well, that's not enough reason to go check out this podcast because Travis doesn't even know the names of the characters. It's going to be
it's so much fun. There's so many times I'm like, I asked Mara throughout the show, what the fuck is this dude's name? Because I don't remember. Because until they give me a reason to really care what their name is, I don't learn it.
So anyway.
If you haven't noticed that on this show too, because there's a couple times here, I'm like, who the fuck are you talking about, Matt? But anyway, go ahead.
Normally with NXT or AEW. You guys can find us on all of those platforms, so please go check that out. For Sir Cussalott, Travis Pointer, I am the Warden, Matt Ritter. We are Smackin' Raw, and we are the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub.
Peace.